Hang on. No, answer with yes or no. Do you want to do your recording?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Stand by. My God, it's really so simple. You just answer yes or no. Hi. Okay.
This is due by Friday.
Oh no! Come on, do it. I screwed you up. Do it good.
That was great.
Sometimes
don't go full Jack. Don't
Simple
early.
Jack. What?
No, it's too early for Simple Jack.
No,
It's for
that
the
was just
after
me
show.
struggling to pull together all of these different sub threads of what's happening in my brain right now to try and do something that doesn't waste your time for an hour or 5. Hello.
I don't think you've ever wasted. No, I know you have never wasted my time.
Oh, how would you
There's
know
very
that?
feu things I'm confident about.
There's no way
That's
you
not
could know
true.
that. There's no way you could know that.
Maybe you felt that you wasted my time. Maybe, but I even like 2 weeks ago when you were really apologetic about having slept in a little bit, I had such a great 2 hours and was almost where I almost texted your wife, but I'm like, no, I see.
What?
Just to make sure everything.
God.
That you were asleep,
Yeah,
that you were
right,
asleep
right.
and not.
You can also
You
just
know,
push
there's
through
scoots,
DN.
scoots.
Can you just also push through DND?
I think so.
And you say send anyway, right? Oh my God,
Yeah.
this mix is killing me. Oh my God in heaven. I cannot wait to fix this. Okay, all right. Are you feeling good? Should we do some exercises maybe to like get us in the right state of mind or anything?
Oh, like get us on the same.
Because I think
level?
we fully accept now that if you're going to do this bit at the beginning, we got to do it in line, in real time, as they say on MS Now, and we'll now drop the little music part after that. But that means also, this is a movable feast. We can start whenever we want, and like we could leave off whatever we want. We don't even have to do it.
Oh, that's true.
Are you feeling good?
This is Due by Friday, a weekly
yes or no
challenge
question.
podcast. Yes, I'm feeling great.
Go for it.
I've had one of those days where this is a yes and
It's like you have one foot on stage and one foot in your dressing room, and I'm really not sure who I'm talking to right now.
That's kind of the show, isn't it? Ooh.
Yeah, it kind of is. Oh, like you could also say don't compare your backstage to other people's backstage. If you know what I mean. I think I just made a butt joke.
You did.
Okay. Go for it.
This is Due by Friday, a weekly challenge podcast with Alex Cox and Merlin Mann. This week's challenge, find something you never thought you'd see again. Hello.
Hello, how are you today? That was a very professional opening. Thank you, Alex.
I know. Well,
We both did so professional.
I did.
We did professional. We did that.
Oh,
we did
God.
that.
Well, millennials are back in. I don't know if you've heard, but 2026 is going to be the year of 2016. I'm told by a couple of 20-year-olds I know.
How would you feel about me literally copying everything that you just said and playing it a second time here? What did you just say? Millennials are back in, and 2026 is going to be 2016.
Yep. And the thing is
this one of
I
those
would
unnecessary observations like 90 is the new 40 or something? What does that mean? Who's in?
That's exactly.
And are you
what
being
it means.
sarcastic? I can't even tell anymore.
No. That's
What does it
the
mean
problem.
to be in, Alex?
No, that millennial sincerity is back in.
That's not what you said. You said millennials are back in.
Millennials are back in. Millennial sincerity is back in. Earnestness is back in. And I was told this by a couple of 20-year-olds. I was given that, like 12, 20-year-olds. I'm saying a lot of numbers. I was giving a talk to. And that didn't make sense. Sometimes I give talks about documentaries and whatnot, and they are
people
coherent.
there?
Yeah, I'm told
Okay. But you're pretty sure they happened, right?
I'm pretty sure. And I knew a number of them because they are going to my alma mater,
12 of
and
them.
it was introduced.
Sound like you were working
And
on a
they're-
word problem.
Did you ever diagram sentences in school? Was
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
wasn't that fun? I really liked that.
I found it difficult but absorbing.
Oh,
Well, no. What are you talking about? We're talking about like third, fourth, fifth, sixth, sometime in there, right? Like where you do the thing and you show the subject and then you underline that and then it branches off into the different clauses and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I learned to.
I liked it, but it was
think-
difficult. I found it very interesting though. And then as I got older and thought more about like, I don't know, semiotics and semantics and stuff, it was very interesting to me. Especially in light of like learning how, for example, how an LLM works and how it breaks all those parts into its own little maths. It's, it's not really applicable, but it's two things that I could say on a podcast.
It is.
Yeah,
It's,
it really
you
is.
know,
Backstage,
it's-
front stage, back of house, front of house,
You.
risotto.
I don't like that we said
top
the same thing at the
scallops.
same time. I have a couple pieces of follow up about our show last week.
Follow up.
Both about our show and your more popular show, Reconcilable Differences. You refer to it as your most popular show. I'm allowed to say.
Yeah, but you also say it with a fake Chinese accent. That's upsetting.
Jesus Christ.
Every single time you say reconcilable.
No, I don't.
I don't like it.
Rec dips. Oh God.
Hi.
I think I do.
Repita después de mí. Reconcilable.
Oh
ahead.
gosh.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate your interest.
You said problematic protein rectangles in reference to the type of food you eat, and that sounds to me like the food I eat, which
It
is
really
just
does. Yeah.
yeah. And
Like
I
you
was
buy
like,
it in
are
a
you-
can, like in Repo Man, you buy it in a can that just says food.
Yes.
Not a can, but some kind
Yeah,
of
I mean-
the way you would get like not dog treats maybe, but
Oh,
at
no,
least like a pile of
absolutely.
graham crackers. Like you'd open a pack of
Yes.
of problematic what is it? Problematic protein rectangles.
Problematic protein rectangles. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they aren't exactly rectangles, but they are problematic. That's the main.
Well,
Problematic's doing a lot of the work there.
Why? But why are they like? For me, they're problematic because.
Because I'm not supposed to eat meat.
Oh, okay. So it was meat. Never mind.
What was your guess?
I have the dog treats, and you have the real food, and that's problematic. I sent you. I got myself. It wasn't a rectangle. I got myself some protein circles, and it's a honey stinger mini energy waffles.
It's a honey stinger.
I-
Mini
honey
energy
stinger.
waffle, naturally flavored vanilla. Okay, looks like a lot of carbs.
Oh yeah, I thought it was good for you. It wasn't.
Prepare.
It wasn't at all.
Perform. It's got suggestions on here, and it's got a little Alex Honnold style mountain for you to climb. Prepare.
Oh, yeah.
Perform. Huh. Hey, am I getting
All
a
right.
weird? Am I getting a weird slapback of me? Am I too loud in my headphones or something? Am I too loud?
No, not to me.
I'm so scared.
You're
I
almost
really,
a little bit
I hate.
soft.
I hate having problems I can't fix. And also I'm having a huge problem with Descript right now. Oof. I've started having to do this in GarageBand like an animal.
The
Yeah.
one day.
Honey Stinger. Okay, now, okay, so vanilla. And this looks like something you would pick up at a gas station.
Or a Walgreens while you're waiting for the pharmacy to open because you didn't plan and you earlier today forgot that it's closed until 11:30 and you bought a snack at the Walgreens.
Good thing you didn't have to fill your prescription at the Washington Post, am I right?
Did news happen?
Oh, they laid off 300 reporters. Go ahead.
Jeez.
Honey Stinger mini energy waffles, and the energy. See, I'm not a dietitianist, but I bet the energy comes from the carbohydrates or what you call sugar.
Yeah, oh, this
Or the
picture's
honey?
blurry. I think I bought myself cookies.
Isn't that funny? They call them biscuits overseas. Yeah, isn't it funny? Like, it's kind of like, you know how I always say, like, you can make something funny by putting the word prescription. You can make any noun funny by putting prescription in front of it. So, like, but like, what if these are prescription cookies?
God, I wish.
Doesn't that change the whole meaning when you put prescription pants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, millennials are back in. We say we
I
put.
have to use this. It's a prescription phone.
Yeah.
It's for my work.
Continued follow up from your more popular
Wait, so
show.
what was that follow up?
That was. I just wanted to clarify whether your problematic protein rectangles were weirdo foods or just me.
No, it was. I think it was in the context of because I don't know. I'm starting to enjoy my relationship with John more, but by realizing it's not healthy, and
Yeah,
it's
you could tell.
yeah. Well, I everybody likes to pull for John because he seems like the way internet bullies get popular because they got bullied. Yeah, and so like he's seen as everybody's champion, and that's fine. But I'm right about a lot of stuff that he doesn't understand, and that's fine. And I'm not there to make him better at that. I just want to have the conversation with him. It was in the context of me saying, I feel like I'm the only person in America who is not primarily eating bowls of beige-ish yellow glop. And I've thought this for a while. My family eats a lot of glop. America eats a lot of glop. And then I was looking at the New York Times, and they have highlights of recipes that are popular. And I posted a photo on the internet of all 4 of their recipes were for a bowl of yellow glop or brown glop. And I'm not criticizing that, but what I'm saying is that was the context for me saying, and of course I mentioned, I always have to credit Patton Oswalt's wonderful bit, America Has Spoken, about the KFC famous bowls. No, or you could just put that on a plate and you could eat it like an adult. But I am very old fashioned in that sense of like my idea of a meal that I sit down to is a protein, a starch, and a vegetable. And I'm not married to that, but like I don't want 5 vegetables that are yellow in a bowl.
No,
Not a lot anyway. A lot of people, that's how, but like, think about, I don't, by saying glop, glop is slop, probably.
Yeah, all of the op words.
Yeah, but like what I'm talking about is like, when you go to Chipotle, why do you go to Chipotle? Well, I'm going to get a burrito. No, I don't get the burrito. I get the burrito bowl. Or like, and like if you can get your salad in a wrap. And it's like, oh my God, America, what is happening? But whatever, fine. It's other people's preferences. I was just providing some context to John I'm not against people enjoying whatever glop they enjoy. But I was just saying, in contrast to that, I do prefer that I have different foods on a plate like an adult.
And now you're putting that adult food into an air fryer and then onto a plate.
Sometimes my wife makes chili and she doesn't make a starch with it.
Huh. Wait,
How do you not make a starch with chili?
If I'm misunderstood, I probably am.
It's not that complicated. I'm from Ohio, so I grew up putting slightly cinnamon flavored chili on spaghetti. To me, almost every meal can be improved with egg noodles. Like there are not that many meals made worse by egg noodles unless they're, poisoned. So like to me, the glop that I like to make title is to take me whatever the meaty soupy is and mix it up with some noodles. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The meaty soupy though.
Why would I have to ask for a starch? I like a starch.
Yeah, I was wrong, I guess, and I thought beans were a starch, but
I don't know. No, I didn't mean it that way. Starch is a term from a different time. A starch in my household. So let's say you got a protein. We call it we didn't say protein. You said meat. You got a meat, a starch, and a vegetable. That's probably like freaking canned lima beans or corn. But that's not the starch. Even though corn is starchy, the starch is your smashed potatoes or your rice or your noodles or your baked potato or what have you. That to me, that's the starch. The starch is a function, not just a description.
Oh, you need like a
meal.
sponge for the glop to get it almost like a.
You think of the starch as being like a sponge.
Well, I don't know the way that gosh.
You're right now. You're just right up to the edge of saying enjoy your human food. I mean food.
No,
human laughter.
It's a different time.
Human laughter. I mean jokes. Haha.
I was just expressing.
But like, it's funny to even bring this up because don't you live in a land of starches? I thought, aren't you a regular starch boy?
Oh, absolutely.
You're happy with a bowl of noodles, right?
Yeah, that's why I have my problematic protein rectangles to get the protein and the green things into my body.
What is a problematic protein rectangle for you?
Sometimes it's kale and some sort of gross. Usually it's problematic because
It's a vegetarian protein heavy thing.
Yeah, it's something my spouse will get me because he likes all of the, muscly boy foods and the
Like salmon and stuff?
no, cod.
Are you okay?
Forgot that was a kind of fish, and that's a
Well, you remember
fun
the
way
Rock's
of saying
diet?
it. No, the Rock's diet?
Go Google Rock cod diet. Saudi Falcons.
Rock cod diet.
One time, The Rock, and I think in a Muscle Man magazine, but somewhere when The Rock was on the ascendance, Rock the Dwayne Johnson, he talked about what he eats every day, and it was kind of amazing.
Oh boy!
Do you remember it?
This is no. I only remember the Michael Phelps 6 bowls of spaghetti, and then I'm like, ooh, I should be a swimmer because that sounds wonderful. Holy shit! He just says second breakfast straight up. He doesn't lie.
So the fact is, they do know about it. They do know about second breakfast. How much cod does The Rock eat in a day?
I shouldn't laugh at what people eat.
We don't like to reveal the source of where food actually comes from, but kind of sounds like Rock the Dwayne Johnson just kind of hates fish. Like he really, he's the Himmler of fish title. It's just about Lebensraum. That's why they need the Sudetenland. That's actually a very German area.
Oh,
a lot of people don't know that.
You went I think 2 YouTube videos ahead of me for me to understand that reference.
Okay. He ate 36 ounces over 2 pounds a day during his, quote, Hercules bulk. Became a meme. His full meal plan was 5,000 calories plus across 7 meals with cod appearing in multiple meals.
Okay, he's a real one here. This isn't like the Jeremy Renner workout app. This is incredibly impressive.
Billy still talks about the Jeremy Renner app pretty often.
Oh, well,
every time
why?
Because he thinks it's hilarious, and I thought it was hilarious too. We talked about it here, right?
I don't know.
Didn't we talk about the Jeremy Renner? I thought. See, there was this thing. Remember that thing that came along a while ago, back before we all had all these interesting tools, where you could drop a bunch of stuff into Dropbox or similar, and it would turn it into a rudimentary app for you. Those kinds of things where you could build an app from Blueprint or a framework. And I don't know but anyhow, I remember, I thought it was just an Amazon. I thought it was an Amazon affiliate site because Amazon started doing these little mini stores for celebrities, but I guess it was more than that. So now anytime I'm watching Graham Norton compilations or whatever, and Jeremy Renner comes up, without looking up from his phone, Billy will say, if only there were a way that I could keep up with updates pertaining to Jeremy Renner in some kind of app. And he still says it, and it's still always funny to me. He's very funny. If only.
Doesn't it make
I just hear the words "if only" ellipsis, and I start laughing because I know what's coming, and he knows to drag it out because it's funnier. If only. If only there were a way that I could keep up with updates pertaining to the actor Jeremy Renner through, say, something like an app.
Mm-hmm. It was really...
And then he got run over by a snowplow or some shit, right?
Oh, I don't... Well, if only...
He had a terrible injury. If only you had.
Yeah,
if only.
If only.
Yeah. I understand. You got to hustle. You can't leave any money on the table.
No, it doesn't.
Can't even leave the table.
You know what? Being an Avenger doesn't
soon
pay
you can
like
leave in a
it
minute
used
and a half.
I think I broke my bell.
I forgot to tell you something. We should do the challenge. I forgot to tell you, I did some maintenance on my bell, and I think the bitch might be back.
Oh,
I've been having bell problems. I've been having, well, I don't know. I was going to hit one. You tell me if it sounds better. It's
All
Zoom,
right.
so it's weird, but doesn't that sound way better? You probably can't tell.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm telling you, when I dinged out Roderick on Monday, and I had an in situ ding in rec diffs, and each time it was more like a kind of like, and I realized I think my cap, my bell cap, my bell end, I think my bell end had gotten loose.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I fixed
whatever you just did then. That
tightened
was
my bell end.
okay. Yeah, because it's not shrill, but
You're not shrill.
I wish.
No, it's not a question of shrillness. It's a question of like, I'm sorry. Why am I mad at you about my bell end? Do you know that's a naughty word in England that I keep using? Did you know that?
A naughty.
Think about a part of a man's body that looks a little bit. You could say the end looks like a bell. Mm-hmm. A bell end.
Yep. I mean, is it a naughty word in the like fanny? The way that someone
I already have 3 jokes on this that are just Taskmaster jokes.
Okay.
One
proceed.
is when Alex says to he says that that comes out to 69, which as you know is a naughty word. He says to Greg, "Do you know what the naughtiest word is?" And Greg says no, and Alex says not, which is 0. I think Greg struck him. I think he struck him.
Oh, again?
There will be physical consequences. And the other one was, did you see when Jason Mantzoukas brought out the album from the band Fanny?
Yes.
That was pretty funny. Boy, that whole season just zings, doesn't it? It's just, it's the whole, and like Fatya, the runner with her, so that Greg's going to marry her, like is so funny the way that escalates. And you see the benefit of shooting that in order, the way that they do, that even the studio things can have callbacks that make sense. It's so satisfying to me. Good season. Very good season.
Hey, listeners, I know it's unseemly to address you, but I'm going to say
it's not necessary. You could just talk to me because I'm your co-host.
Merlin seems to like Taskmaster a lot, but if you're still like, the Jason Sudeikis season, like...
Try again.
It's a good... The Jason Sudeikis is... God damn it, fuck! Wait. Jason...
Because if people search for that, they're going to have trouble finding it.
Yes, they will.
Believe.
The Mantzoukas season.
Yeah.
Jason.
Do you have a pick hit for first episode, or do you say start from S19E1?
You have to start from the beginning. They're already doing callbacks by the second episode.
They are. And the evolution of JV Martzoukas is a lot of fun. To me, it kind of culminates. It gets better and better, but it kind of culminates in Children's Midnight Picnic, which is the one where they're on the ground saying what's going to happen after. What do you think's going to happen after we graduate? Remember Jason and her laying on the floor, and the way that, and Matthew Baton is so game for like running around on stage as well. And it's nobody does it as much as this group, like the running around on stage. You can tell they were not expecting it.
It is the best case for why and how panel shows can exist and maybe could exist in America.
And you don't really need to know it. I mean, it does. Like, for example, there's the current season of the Australian one is not my favorite. Just 'cause I'm not crazy about the host of the Australian one. I love the Alex on that one, but the New Zealand one, any of the English speaking ones that I've watched, you don't really have to know the people on it. I mean, I say that now as somebody who's become comfortable with that. But at first it seems weird to watch a show from another country in a genre that's not familiar with people you don't know. But I'm not trying to like pitch this, but or defend this, but just to say that like once you get the vibe of how these kinds of shows work, they have their own artfulness to them. I mean, look at Traitors. Traitors is a pretty extreme example of that. That's what happens when you make a reality show that's way heavier on the theatrical, staging part of it than on the like gritty, produce the shit out of it part of it.
What do you mean? Oh, which seasons or countries have you seen?
I like New Zealand. And let me find this real quick. So forgive me if this is old news, but every day somebody's born who's never seen the Flintstones. I have a playlist called something like Taskmaster Starter Episodes. And the idea of that is, as with anything that's one of my playlists, it's not prescriptive. You don't have to like watch these in order or anything. Like with my Spotify playlist or generally speaking, my Taskmaster playlist or whatever, like just keep go into the next episode till you see something you like. You know what I mean? So like I've got one called Taskmaster Starter Episodes. And so mine from season 19 is Midnight Picnic.
Such a good name. I like
And of course
it.
I had to put in my all-time favorite Taskmaster task, write and perform a song for a stranger.
Bob Mortimer, right?
Rosalind is a fucking nightmare. And I will put that into show notes, Taskmaster Start. My very first one on the list, it's hard because, you really want to pick something that's going to grab somebody. Because like my calculus with like, say, wanting to share my love of something with somebody that could love it also is to like, I don't want to just give you the like easiest version of this. I'm not going to try and trick you into liking something by just showing you the Blink episode of Doctor Who. The Blink episode of Doctor Who is the most famous, best episode for a reason. But like other reasons include like, well, it's got Sally Sparrow, played by that wonderful actress, but also that like it's not only Dr. Light and Companion Light, it's everything Light. It's a completely weird story and absolutely and a good one of Stephen Moffat's greatest. But it's not. Would you introduce somebody to 50 years, 60 years of Doctor Who with Blink?
Well, yes,
because it's really
like
not
tricking
typical.
People.
Oh, okay. See, I feel like that
Well,
would be
it's
dishonest.
worked.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. It works.
Whereas I'm more inclined to say, well, this one represents the ceilings and floors. Like, obviously I'm picking this because I think it's a good one. I wouldn't pick it if I thought it was terrible. That would defeat the purpose. But it's not just like if I open this with just a Jason Mantzoukas episode, I would be afraid that people go, well, where's the rest of the cast of Parks and Rec? Well, whereas what I'm trying to say is, no, this is a good, what I'm saying without saying it, I hope is that like, if you like what this thing is on its own terms and you don't get too caught up in trying to quote, understand everything and you searching Google for everything the second you don't understand it, just fucking calm down and enjoy the vibe of what this is. And you will be surprised to learn how much you could love. How could I love Lou Sanders so much just based on this season of this show? Or right now I'm looking at the very first one. Okay. Do you remember this one? Do you remember the James Acaster, Jessica Knappett, Rod Gilbert season?
I think so. He's
Wang.
been on a bunch of seasons, right?
No. Everybody's
No?
only ever won one season. It's James Acaster, Jessica Knappett.
Wait,
Carrie Godwin.
wait. Hold up. Bob Mortimer has only been on one season of Taskmaster? Is this a thing where
He's
no
been on
one
one
has
season and Champion of Champions, but he's only ever been on one season of actual Taskmaster.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so that season is Series 7, and I think it's really, really good. The Rod Gilbert stuff, there's so many great runners in this. James Acaster, it's all Phil Wang in his Bruce Lee suit with his, and you can see my dick and balls. It's really interesting. So I open with one called The Perfect Stuff. And so you would probably remember this one, build an addition to the Taskmaster's house. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? And do you remember the three men and the two women take very different approaches?
Oh boy.
And Rod goes over and just makes a skull and crossbones with spray paint and says, this is the extension on the garage. Without mentioning to James.
Oh.
Is that me?
Oh, nope. That was me. Oh dear.
Without mentioning to James and Phil that the garage door is unlocked and is full of exactly all the perfect stuff that you would need to actually build something. Remember? And James loses his shit. And he's like, open the door. You open the garage door. It's full of perfect stuff. Because I think that's a way to get you into what's fun about this. Like people making their case for how their task went and having, relationships and, sometimes friction with the other people in a way that's really amusing. I don't know why I'm saying this. No one cares.
People do care, or
oh no, I didn't mean it that way. I just mean like I don't think their understanding is important.
How did you mean it? What am I misunderstanding?
Because one thing that motivates me differently than a lot of other people, in a way I wish I had more control over, is I'd rather be understood than correct, and I'd rather be happy than right.
Yes,
and I think that differs from a lot of people. It's just like and so sometimes I do feel the need when it seems like I'm just being purely defensive. It's more like, no, this is just the kind of conversation I would have with my friends at lunch. about who's the best in the Fantastic Four or whatever. It's just the kind of conversation you have. Well, here's what I love about Taskmaster. What do you love about Taskmaster? You could talk about that. So like, like I say, I'm not trying to trick anybody. When I introduce somebody to, say, Bullet to the Head as my favorite episode of the Flophouse, I feel pretty good about that because it is super funny. It's got at least 2 of the most classic tangents of all time. It's got Elliot's Best Letters song, and it's got the Stallone tangent. As far as I'm concerned, they were all Golden Girls. Certainly, Sophia, the sarcasticest of the Golden Girls. I feel really good with that one, but like it doesn't.
That's a good point.
It doesn't. Oh my God! Have you ever watched the Stallone tangent?
Watched? Wait, I thought
there's a really good YouTube channel that does not animatics but animations of the Flophouse. They do one for Mirrors that's really funny. Of course, the one for Tantan, it's just so hot, is a classic. But anyhow, I think it's interesting to talk about. I don't think it's interesting to browbeat people about how they should like things or how they should be. I think it's interesting to interrogate ourselves about why we think we're the way we are. I think that's interesting. And that's why I say no one cares, because I don't think anyone does care. I think they'd rather just be told they're right. That's more interesting to them than finding something new that challenges their idea of what they could love in life. Also, it's not Instagram or what have you.
Is this about Instagram or Syracusa? Because it feels like there's
Which one am I?
You, her.
You had a second piece of follow up.
I did. Oh, come back notes.
First piece of follow up was about the rectangles, and
yeah,
second was more follow up. I think on last week's episode. Was it something related to Claude?
It was related to I had a problem, or rather a dumb thing that was happening that I couldn't solve, which was my whole years-long saga of just not having water damage on my laptop, but the Touch ID on my MacBook
Oh
Pro
my God, that
doesn't
thing!
work.
And then just for history on this, it's not just that Alex is a fancy Duchess and like doesn't want to have to type a password. You lose a lot of functionality when your Touch ID stops working. I mean, you lose you will not realize how much you had been using Touch. At least in my case. I would know like all of my keyboards have Touch ID on them because I couldn't live without it just for 1Password, amongst other things. You know what I mean? But like, it's like in your case, what was terrible about it though was it was a very costly repair. I think they tried to repair it more than once, right? And it still never got fixed?
Yeah, it's still not fixed, but I'm a fancy Duchess with an Apple Watch. So it's fine. It's fine.
And that'll do the unlocking for you mostly?
Mostly, yeah. And as a solution, I just have an incredibly insecure password, which, if somebody gets my password for my laptop and gets my laptop that is, basically next to my bed, already so many things have gone wrong that I'm not too concerned. Mm-hmm. But I didn't even mention this. But someone remembered that I have an M2 MacBook Air that completely works except for the screen. No.
Oh,
It's
you have a less capable older laptop?
Yeah, it was the first like redesign of the MacBook Air. So it's one of those cute little blue boys, and that has it was
the new ones?
No, it's from 2020. Okay. So
I don't know what that, because like that would not be 2020 would not be the first redesign of the MacBook Air, would it? From the teardrop?
2022. You're right, because
and the blue
it's
ones
an M2,
are now
not the M1. They're still around. M2
okay.
MacBook
So anyway,
Air.
so I didn't know you had a second laptop. That's cool.
I didn't know either, because when I say completely works, the screen was broken. I took it to the Apple store. Like, you gotta. We would have to send it in, do that. I'm like, just no. And this was 4 years ago. And and you can't connect it to a studio display, because now with Apple Silicon, when you plug anything in, you need to confirm that the accessory can connect, or at least that's how it's been for
if you're using like Lightning.
Lightning. No, anything, unless you can turn off certain permissions. But this don't.
Okay. So what?
Do you not have this?
Well, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm not following this well. You have a laptop right now that you use as your main laptop, and that has a Touch ID that isn't working properly. You were reminded that you have an old MacBook Air M2 with a broken screen, and so let's pick back up there. And so, what is it you're trying to do?
And there was just no way to connect it to an external. I don't have an external monitor
Via something like Lightning. Yes. How do you connect it to an external monitor?
Thunderbolts, or I mean,
okay.
I guess in theory,
And it's probably got two. If it's like my wife's anyway, it's got what, two Thunderbolt ports, and that's it.
Yeah, and it showed up, or sorry, like, so nothing shows up on the external monitor, and someone was like, "Hey,
okay.
there's a terminal command that just overrides that," and yeah, so it mirrored the display, and I'm like, oh, hello. So now I have a MacBook Air that, well, it's not a laptop. I have a second Mac now, which it feels insane. And I'm so happy. I'm so
I
excited.
still don't understand, but it sounds like an improvement. It's an improvement for you, yeah? Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations,
I'm so happy.
man.
I'm so happy. Yes.
Do you want us to do another Kickstarter for you to get a computer?
No. Just someone hire me, please.
Or please fund me.
But give me money. But the God, the terminal's fine. Follow up terminal, really loving it. You sent me a, would you call it a wrapper for Claude Code?
Yeah, I guess so. It's a thing you can get on Git. Or we're not going to talk too much about Claude this time, are we?
No.
Are we? It's okay,
no,
but we've been talking about it a lot.
Launch. I'm
happy to share that because it's a trade-off. Okay, so basically I've been using we're talking about it. I had started because I prefer Prompt for all of my things. The app by Panic, that's a terminal app. What I arrived at is that because I use Prompt for other things, ironically enough, I don't use terminal terminal.app that often. Mm-hmm. So I thought, fuck it, I'll just make that my Claude app. And so I set up Terminal with, it helped me create some optimal settings for width of pages and all the kinds of things that I want, and then populated that across all my computers and and this is the kind of thing the thing can do to help you. Then I was also able to go in and say, just from now on, when you start a new session, I always open it in this folder with this command, Claude/hub or whatever, So that's made it real easy. But there's a lot that's, I guess I didn't realize how much I rely on spell check and automatic just fixing of what I'm typing as I go. And I can completely understand why that would not be a spelling check friendly field for something where you're issuing terminal commands. But it does kind of drive me crazy. I finally had to go in and bang the shit out of it to accept any of my keyboard commands that I use for navigation, because I rely so heavily on the arrow keys, the left-right arrow keys with meta keys to get through text. And like command left arrow was not taking me to the beginning of the paragraph, right? Option right arrow was not taking me through a word at a time. Option shift left arrow was not selecting backwards. And there's only so much you can do with that, but you can't point with your cursor to go places. Anyway, that drove me crazy. There's a lot that was driving me crazy about it. And I discovered on GitHub, this is so confusing. I'm so sorry. The namespace pollution in this thing, and I really don't want you guys to download some kind of bot that uses something called skills that you just get off the internet. Please be careful of this stuff. You guys have got to check this out. No, but Claw, it's called Claw, and we can find it for notes, CLAW. And it is a thing that's fella made that runs Claude. I guess you'd call it a wrapper. I mean, I started, this is another example of something I was saying to Syracuse. I think this stuff is most useful to people who don't know too much, because when I went in knowing too much, I was like, can you help me build my own wrapper for this? And then I was like, wait a minute, has anybody already done this? It turns out they had. And so you run Claw, and it's pretty basic, but it does have a lot to recommend it if you have a certain set of challenges with using terminal. And I don't know if you found that to be, but one is you can put in, one that I love is you can have its own prompt, particular to when it's using claw as against terminal or whatever. So one thing I rely on in keeping things synced is to have a basic sense of state about what computer I'm on at which location and what app I'm using. And I've used this, well, I won't get into it, but that's been helpful to me. So in that case, I say, remember, it's just something as simple as the prompt is like, remember that you are, Cloud GPT running in Claw version, blah, blah, blah. And that way, because, we talked a lot about memory last time. I also, the biggest word in memory in some ways is this. Like, do you know what I mean when I say this? What do you think I mean when I say this or here, right? And that sounds silly, but follow me for a second. I think you know what I probably mean. Like a minute ago, I said, and so are my dip switches okay on this? And it's like, it thinks I'm asking about my descript usage. And I'm like, well, okay, we just had confusion there because by this, I meant that. And by that, you meant this. And having the context to say, know that when I ask a question about claw and I say here, it can know that that's a question about claw. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What did you think of it? Sure, it's easier to type. Sure, it's easier to type in, huh?
Yes, incredibly useful if you've never used a terminal, but I've spent the past 3 weeks learning how to, learning how to use iTerm too, because
sure, that's a good one. Yeah.
And it doesn't make me feel as smart when I have the nice GUI. And
it's also got something that's a giant limitation for me. I don't know. I've been tracking these in a notes file, but for Claw, the drag target for bringing something in is basically where the cursor is.
Yeah.
Whereas if you drag something into terminal anywhere, you don't get a graphical image of it, but it got it. And then, but it also has really weird, and I don't know how you get around this, but if you do things properly, it will necessarily fuck up. So like if you drag an image into Claw, a lot of times it groks it immediately and you see the little image. Other times it shows the path of everything you dragged in there, like it would in terminal. And that's fine, except ask yourself this. What's the first character in a Mac path?
Depends. In
a slash.
M? Or oh.
That's what a path is, right?
See, that's why I just need to use terminal to feel smart.
Oh, no, but if I drag it in and if what I'm dragging in says /users/ name of person, it's going to interpret that character correctly as a slash command. So do you use slash commands? Mm-hmm. Okay. So like, probably you might know exit or export or usage or any of those. Yeah. Well, it interprets everything in the path. If the beginning of a path is the first thing in the Claw area, it thinks that it's a slash command and says, hey, dummy, you just gave me this is in a slash command. I'm like, okay. Because I drag a lot of things.
Big dragger.
Big dragger. I've even optimized my CleanShot work with that. Have I told you about scan annoyances? Did I tell you about that?
Is this I don't think so, because
it watches my screenshots folder. And twice a day, it looks for any screenshot it can do. And I've installed PyObject and a bunch of OCR and stuff on this folder. So twice a day, it goes through my screenshots folder and looks for anything it can recognize as me at a point where it's asking my permission to continue.
Okay.
It scans that every day and finds things that it could be better about taking care of. But here's the other thing. Did you look at the settings in Claw?
No, I did not even get that far.
Well, just to mention that in Claw, it has, and you can't hit Command comma. That doesn't work. You got to hit the gear. There's an area where you scroll down a little bit, auto approve tools, configure auto approval, and you can tick or untick or retick any of the permissions. So like if you're just sick of having to answer the same permissions, you can tick them all off in there.
Okay. This is something I shouldn't do.
Well, I guess so, but there's also this eternal, again, talking to Syracuse about this stuff, I keep comparing this in some ways to being the owner of a Synology. And I have reason to have learned 2 difficult lessons about Synology. So there's lots of other plenty of difficult lessons about Synology, but here's 2 of the like the day 0 things about a Synology. Synology has 2 benefits. It's a managed system for dealing with network attached storage. And what we benefit from is the managed part and the multiple disks part. The multiple disks are nice because they do give you a lot of space, but that's not the point. The point is you can decide how much redundancy you can live with and tolerate. So like I have 1 drive to redundancy, which means that as long as 5 of my drives are working on Synology, I should be able to repair a drive, with the striping or however it does that. That's a huge benefit of having any kind of network attached storage. The other part is being managed. So why do I say that? Well, mistake 0 was that I bought a 2-bay Synology. The first Synology I ever bought was a 2-bay Synology. Well, what I didn't know, because I didn't know that I needed to know, is that's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. So what do? You get 1 drive redundancy? Like you've just thrown away.
Explain why this is the stupidest thing, especially for a Synology, and not just because
you know how rich people can afford to lose more money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Similar idea here. Where but the idea is like I said, if I've got 6 disks in my Synology, and it would probably be smarter to have, to say 2 drives could fail, but I'm not made of money. And it doesn't happen that often, knock on wood. But the idea is that you can have a drive fail and the rest of your thing can work and then heal itself because of how a NAS works. But if you do that with a 2, I'm not saying it's useless, but boy, that's never going to be something to scale up. What do? You got a 2 drive Synology. So what do? Oh, I'll put 2 80 gigabyte disks in there. Well, great. Half of your gigabyte is redundancy for your other drive. Fail. Like you don't have any way to scale up. But the other part is it's managed. If you can't get with the Synology interface for most of what you do, and you find yourself eventually doing, let's say, everything in the terminal, that's fine if you enjoy it. But that's not the value of a Synology. I would say that if you looked around a little bit, you could probably build your own NAS with stuff from, a reputable vendor and just get a NAS enclosure. If you're going to do all that, you could probably just do all that with Linux tools. Like you don't need that janky ass interface for it. And I don't know. I think that goes for a lot with Claude Code too. It's if you want to, just like with Siracusa, we talked about how like he's doing so much of his own in addition, and he does not benefit as much from the talking to it the way I talk to it. But my case would be, well, it's good to know a tool is useful for you, but also, there's a spectrum where on the one hand, you've got somebody like Siracusa who would prefer to do almost all of that himself, get help when he can. At the other end, you got somebody who's just banging on the keyboard with their forehead and doesn't know anything. And like, you want to have the serenity to know which one you should be at a time. Because I cannot convince this thing to have a memory it's incapable of having, no matter how lucid my writing is. And that's part of the process. That's not one of the key performance indicators of this. And so it's nuts for me to throw good time after bad trying to make that happen, any more than it makes sense to spend $1,100 on having one drive fault tolerance on your Synology. Suitability for purpose is what I'm saying. Do you want to start over?
1, 3, 2. No, that was good. But we can't talk about memory. I can't cry on the main show. That's an after.
Now that'll make people want to pay. Ooh, I need to hear Alex cry. I'm into it. You can support our program by going to giveusyourfuckingmoney.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, tell me about the challenge. Hey, did you like my poster about Big Tennis?
Yes.
I forgot how funny that episode is, because that episode's got so many bangers in it. It's got the bit with the birthday messages.
Yep.
From Todd and oh my God.
Happy birthday.
It's got the card trick, Alex.
Yeah. 2 of hearts. Do you still find cards, playing cards anywhere in?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I found
know.
2 cards. I have found in the past however many years 2 cards. I have no reason to believe I have found all the cards. I think I'll be finding cards forever. I find them on the street sometimes, and I think it's part of the same psyop.
It could be, yeah.
Classic misdirection.
You're kind of in the backstage and on stage type of thing. You don't know the cards are face up and cards are face down. What if you found another two of hearts?
My heart's open.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm sorry, that was a pun, I guess. My club's open.
Thank you.
My spade is open? I don't like that at all. What's the other one?
Nope.
Oh, my diamond's open. Excuse me. What? That sounds dirty.
It's called the.
That sounds like a Nicki Minaj song.
Front. Oh. She's fun.
Roll up in the automobile gangster like a bed with the bad bitch that come from Sri Lanka. I still think that's the greatest rap verse, second greatest rap verse of all time. She's problematic, but it's a good rap verse.
Wait, what's the first?
50,000. The first verse of Triumph by Wu-Tang Clan.
Huh.
I bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and biographies. Can't deny how I be dropping these lyrical armed robberies. Rap. What is? I can never say it. It's so fucking good. Shackling the masses with shackling the masses with drastic rap tactics. Holy shit. His name's Inspector Deck.
Do you know what I immediately think of whenever someone says the Wu-Tang Clan? Because
wait, I bet I can. Wu-Tang Clan. No, but I bet it's funny because it's one of those things where it could remind you of like a children's show or something. I bet.
Kind of close.
What is it? What's it remind you of?
There's an episode in The Leftovers, one of your favorite TV shows, I believe, where a character gets a Wu-Tang Clan tattoo, but calls it
one of the twins?
No, it's Nora to cover up another tattoo, but she calls it the Wu-Tang Club, which is like...
Dave Chappelle had a really funny bit with the band on the show. Remember, I think it was called Wu-Tang Financial. And it's about investing your money with Wu-Tang Clan. It's from the 90s, so it's really fucking funny. It's pretty funny. It's got RZA in it.
Oh no, I've found it. I can't pull things up because now I think I have looped back working.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Wu-Tang Clan.
What's the third greatest rap verse of all time? Or do you just stop?
There's the ones. No, I can do more, but like a lot of them are ones where like I never intended to unintentionally memorize so much of a song from a certain time. But like I'm not going to do it now unless you'd like me to, but I could, for example, I can do a fair amount of Fight the Power, and I think I can do almost every word of Humpty Dance.
Give me some Humpty Dance.
And do you remember historically when I do Humpty Hump who it sounds like? Do you remember Scott Simpson once pointed out who my Humpty Hump sounds like? Do you remember?
No, I don't think so.
From Top Dress, I sound like Tim Gunn.
No.
All right, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. Make it work.
See, you went like the opposite.
Where's Andre? Where's Andre? Remember Andre?
Oh boy.
Remember Where's Andre? That was a great season. Where's Andre? Has anyone seen Andre?
No, I've never seen that season. I just know that you
with Santino.
You say it's a great season, and I hear, "Where's Andre?
Where's Andre?" Tim can't find Andre.
Oh, you really have the like wisp in there. That's.
I look funny, but y'all are making money, Jay, so world, hope you're ready for me. Now gather round. I'm a new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I drink up all the Hennessy you got on your shelf, so just let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the umpty. Yes, ladies, oh, how I love to funk thee. And all the rappers in the top 10, please allow me to bump thee. I'm looking tall, y'all, and just like Humpty Dumpty, beats fall when my stereo's pumping. I use a word that don't mean nothing, like Loop did. I sang on to What You Like, in case you missed it. I'm the one who said, just grab them in the biscuits.
Oh my God.
Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me. Straight up racist, that sucker was simple and plain motherfucking man John way. Because I'm black and I'm proud and I'm high plus I'm amped. Most of my heroes don't appear on no stamps.
This is, I'll say it for the after show, but this is a potential challenge in the not to rap, not to rap, not to
every
rap.
listener.
No, not to
This
rap,
week's
not to rap.
challenge.
That's not what.
Not
no,
to rap,
that,
not to rap, not to rap, not to rap, not to rap, not to rap. Backpack, backpack.
Oh, Merlin, did you find something you never thought you'd see again?
Wait a minute. I thought you were going to do it.
I could do it.
I did. I mainly have thoughts about it that are wistful, and that I've developed some personal insight about this topic. I can cite things, but it's kind of slightly at odds with the take home of my realizations. Tell me what you did. The context for this is we were doing one of those things talking about words and distinctions, and I was just trying to make my case for saying. I prefer not to say this is kind of silly, but it's practical. I rarely say that something is lost if it is in fact just something I can't find right now, where I might use the word mislaid or misplaced. This is just a weird quirk of mine. I think I've said this in the document. I think lost is a good word to reserve. And please listen. I know you think you know, but please listen. An item that is lost is something that's gone forever, and you've accepted that. So my dad is lost. My eyeglasses are in the bathroom. Over? Does that make sense?
I thought you were going to do a big philosophical explanation about it.
You could just do something practical before I just bullshit.
That's the problem is I always go into the challenge with a practical idea and then I get overly emotional about it. And
you think that's the problem?
Fair enough. My
the thing is we don't get to pick our insights in life. Or our traumas or our memories. Or our genitals.
A big part of a lot of my projects right now, not obvious to you, but people who listen to another program is memory because, just because I have a lot of scaffolding, Merlin, because I listen, you maybe don't see as much scaffolding in,
I see you reading a lot of articles about the tech background between all of these tools that I'm using to improve my life.
That's not true.
But
don't you
I
see
got
a
the
lot
feeling.
of scaffolding?
No, I got the feeling there's a lot of memory stuff involved. Right? Are you like? Because it seems like it's not to say like, is this real or was this real? But like, are you sort of in some ways testing or exploring your own memory over time? Is that part of it?
Well, I think the very first thing I did with Claude Code when I started being was throw it at like my archives of everything. And I'm like, okay, tell me when this schedule became erratic and tell me when my time tracking was inconsistent, so that I was able to start pinpointing when and now I think I've accepted just lost big chunks of time, which is a side effect.
You think probably kind of neurologically.
Yeah, this is.
You're talking real stuff
about it.
Yeah,
but
you've got brain stuff. It's real.
And it was around 2023, erratic podcast episode releases, the new era of Merlin editing, and just the big, missing chunks of time that a bipolar brain will do sometimes if you're on Lamictal on a high dose for a very long time.
Like Claude, though, the part that's so difficult for a person who doesn't have that to grok is like, I don't know, this sounds obvious, but like it's the not knowing something and not knowing that you don't know that. The thing is, it's one thing to say I've misplaced my glasses. It's one thing to say I forgot that guy's first name. And it's another thing for you to not have access in any way to that ever having been known. Those are just lost sectors on your disk. And that's a very complicated thing about memory. It's one thing to be able to use chunking or tip of your tongue or mnemonics or or Post-it notes and string on your finger and all this kind of stuff. But there's no string on your finger that'll help you remember you don't have a finger.
Yep. And for folks who have been listening to the after show, this something that's been really helpful for me is I don't think I've talked to you about this. Is talking to folks who have early onset Alzheimer's, because I'm lucky enough to not
And
have
they're aware
that.
of it and
Yeah.
everything. That sucks.
And and
It's not going to get better.
no,
It's like,
and
it's like macular degeneration,
yeah,
It starts
it's-
in the middle of your eye and moves out.
yeah.
That is such a harrowing concept to me. Your blindness
well-
begins in the middle of your vision and continues to move out. You can't see the
God.
middle of anything you're looking at.
Like folks who have early early onset dementia, if they're a little bit older, like the grace in which they're able to be like, yeah, I am losing myself and I'm losing everything about myself that I love
The
and care
humility
about,
it
but
would
I'm
take,
yeah, oh yeah, and being generous enough to share how that feels and like how they
That's cool.
cope with that, and
Just
many
people,
have read.
you like friend of a friend things, or is it a formal? You don't have to say, but like is it just something you're doing on your own with friends of friends kind of thing?
It's a friend of friend things because mental illness sucks, and sometimes there's more neurological side effects that are scary and sad that it's not fun to talk about. Yeah, people aren't having fun right now. I'm not funny right
no.
now. But
It's a thing worth addressing.
Yeah, well, and it's Merlin, don't listen to this. Like when I go away on the weekends and don't respond to people's texts, it's because trying and testing my memory, and I am worried about what I might do, which sounds like scary. When I say worried about what I might do, I mean I worry that I will have a conversation with someone and not remember. And I've been getting a lot better. I think people know who've listened to this show too, like that my brain is just more present. But
Is it because of changes in chemical stuff, or because of your systems and process? Is the process helping?
Oh yeah,
That's good. That's super good.
Mostly, what fucking sucks is I should say the process though is just changes in medication. Like I wish that there was
Yeah.
any like tips and tricks or good, anything I did that was good or bad than helpful, but. Nah, sometimes the brain is fucking weird. Not
But
sometimes,
but like
always.
even with something as boring as what I live with, I know that there's like how can I put this? At least I'm saying this is different from what you've got. Like you've got to really watch a lot of shit and like keep that Lamictal right or whatever it is. Like there's all kinds of shit to keep an eye on. But like with mine, I do know that I cannot just count on the consumption of a pill to be everything that takes care of how I do today. That I have to treat every improvement I can bring to it as a contribution that still requires integration and a project manager. And that doesn't mean endless amounts of infrastructure. I'd like to come back to that at some point. Not for me anyway, but because I've found in the end, I've tested it and it's actually not as useful as it seems. But for me, but what I do know is like if I get the pill that helps me have some focus, I get it directed into the right way, I more and more just really there's a certain kind of I don't know, just that whole like, if you don't like living in a ghetto, move. If you don't like being fat, lose weight. You have no self-control. That kind of stuff has more and more gotten under my skin over the years as I realized that none of that stuff exists in isolation. You can't just tell a poor person to move for reasons that are obvious to a lot of people, and then for other people it's not. Like if you don't like your child not having food, don't live in Gaza. There's all kinds of ways you can look at that and go, well, my life is fine. I made good decisions, and everyone else is just weak. Which is, okay, fine. If that gets you through the night, good for you, I guess. But like, there's something where you do have to have a constant, if you really care about making your life better, you have to do more than just make announcements. You have to do more than just build charts and download apps. You have to also develop a presence of mind and, if you like, a mindfulness about making sure you're constantly reintegrating those best practices and then have a way of knowing whether you're doing it and whether it's working. In my experience. And in every case, those should be as lightweight as possible and not require you to abandon the part of your life you want to live in order to like stand there setting up a set of crutches to hold up your crutch collection. That's the thing I try to be careful about, because I found that a lot of stuff in memory, by the time you resolve it by finding something special you thought was lost, it's about a kind of advanced hoarding. And it really is, it's closer to the "it's all too much" message than most of us realize. Finding lost things will not make you happier. Looking at the life that you could have to improve for yourself and other people around you is how you have a good life, not by finding Rosebud. But tell me about this. I want to hear more about this. So that was basically mine. Give me yours.
Oh, that's it.
Well, no, because I'm interested in
more.
Yeah, but the talking to people, the early onset people, or like, where have you found? Are you able to determine where you find the most interesting, useful insights in your process? How do you know if something is pointing in the right direction?
I have to rely on people I trust, and I wish there was a better answer, because when they say
all my friends are unit tests.
When they say like, no, you didn't lose time, like, yep, you're right, that is indeed a hallucination. It's not there, it's all good. It mostly routine, and when I say routine, like just the scaffolding your brain has, that is the regular, patterns you go through throughout your day, and having
routine
around.
As in close to more like schedule rather than routine instead of rut. Is that what you mean? Which routine do you
sometimes
mean?
a rut is the safest place.
No, I mean, it's not a criticism. I'm just trying to clarify.
No,
because part of it is also like, one way I get healthy is by getting up at the same time every day. Like, I would consider that a kind of routine. It's not a rut. It's just something you do. Going to the gym could be a routine. Walking your dog could be a routine. It's not negative necessarily.
Not necessarily, but sometimes a rut is the safest place to be in, because at least in a rut, you're not.
Do you need to look at it that way, though? Does it need to be negative?
No,
it sounds
it's
more
not,
like agency.
It's not always negative. It's
agency.
like, yeah, like if you choose the.
You're not Ghislaine Maxwell. You get to like pick what you're doing today. You know what I mean? Like you've got agency, but like you're finding agency on one level, some kind of amorphous, deep level of like, well, there's this thing that's not the way I want in the world. It matters to me, so I'm going to put effort into that. Right? That's one kind of agency. But then what I'm saying is like, I'm sorry, I wasn't criticizing you, but like you keep coming back to rut and saying it's safe. And what I'm saying is, well, if it's safe and it's not bad, why does it have to be a rut? That just sounds like agency for you to decide what works best for your health.
I mean, rut, it doesn't need to be that word, but I mean, the rut, like, there's a lot of things that I used to be able to do, and a lot of ways that I used to be, that very much defined me and was,
You had non-rut flexibility.
Things I was, and hopefully will maybe again be very good at, like being extremely, I'll pat myself on the back.
You're sharp. No, you can be very sharp. Very sharp is the good word.
Yeah,
for it. You're very sharp.
Really organized. Very good at controlling the.
But sharp. It's more than smart. It's more than efficient. It's more than competent. Sharp means you pick shit up before you needed to.
Yeah, and great at handling the unregulated emotions of other men who like fantastic.
Remember Facha? Facha gives Greg an orange with the word audacity on it. Audacity. Yes. I want you to remember every morning, have less audacity. Men have so much audacity. I hope you got enough money for the wedding. You're not gonna believe what happens when you open this. What does it say He's like, the increasing the tone of this is really starting to bother me. But no, I've seen that. And like on the old show, when you guys would talk about your weird work that you did together, like clearly you were capable, it seemed anyway, of keeping a fair number of balls in the air. And, you know, as somebody in, like, we're both sort of project management adjacent types. And like, you know, it's sort of difficult to stop being the person who tries to notice important things before they matter.
It's even more difficult to stop being the person everyone trusts and looks to for, you know,
now that's where incompetence
leadership
comes
and
in.
comfort.
If you were incompetent, you wouldn't have that problem. You fucked up.
Right, yeah.
Your competence has gotten in the way of your incompetence. Write that down. Put that in your database. Put that in your infrastructure.
Max was one of the probably the, other than like Merlin and a few, like Max was mid-tier level of people to deal with because he's kind and
yeah, but but he could be difficult.
Oh no, by quote deal with, I mean like project manage for.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, as of even this morning, I still have friend cops out there reminding me who I'm allowed to be friends with. But I'm fully aware that in any case, I know Max is a handful. But your job a lot of time. But you also like exclusive even of the Martha stuff. But like you were kind of expected to run with the ball on a fair number of pretty ambitious, undefined projects. Like a lot of what you did was writing Herd on something that needed to be done quickly.
Yes. And
that always seems stressful, and I always admired that you could do that.
I loved it.
It's very stimulating. It's very stimulating. When I was a younger person, I was very stimulated by things like that. I don't know if it's a sustainable way to keep running yourself, but like it is certainly very exciting and demonstrates a lot of value.
I never had
because if you can fix shit other people are scared
burnout.
of, oh my God.
Like I probably would have burned out. Maybe something bad would happen, but
you think you didn't get burned out there?
Oh, I had moments
high?
of extreme.
Didn't everybody get burned out there? Wasn't that kind of the problem?
With like game industry stuff, like the entire game industry.
This is not beneficial.
It's what is beneficial is so my whole thing, I guess very much was like, okay, I have all of this data that now is so much easier to parse with Claude Code and using now also having all of it in my Synology, just far more organized. And I've been able to pinpoint just days and weeks that I just have no memory of, based on like
no memory now.
What do you mean? No memory now versus what?
I'm sorry, it's not. I swear to God, it sounds like a trap, and it's not. But like sometimes it sounds like you have. Blackout is probably too strong a word, but you've definitely got a discontinuity in addressable data about your past. Yes.
It is a blackout is like the term of it's in
that's what a lot of
like
people don't understand about that term in alcoholism, and it's a bummer because it's such a good term. A blackout drunk is not somebody who passes out. Quite to the contrary, a blackout is somebody who is still functioning but won't remember any of it. Mm-hmm. And that's where you often get like you see somebody's true personality or what their beer persona is, you know. But I guess I mean more like so like right now, you could look at your files and things like drafts that would show you hint at geolocation. I've got this. I told you about my triangulation project, right? To like be able to do exactly what we're talking about. That's kind of what you're doing, right? You look at something, you go like, okay, I don't remember having lunch with that person. That kind of thing. Is it that you never remembered it or you don't remember it now? I know that sounds silly, but do you see the distinction?
No, not.
Is it just not get encoded in some ways? Probably not. It probably just didn't go to, never made it to the drive.
I would.
The session crashed. Your
essentially
session crashed.
Wake up. Yeah, I would essentially, like people kind of, I'd essentially wake up and be like, oh, how did I get here? Like, I've never really been blackout drunk, I think, because I've never at least had enough alcohol where suddenly I'm like, oh, I don't know.
But there were times where you weren't sure what happened recently before current time.
I'm not sure. No idea whatsoever.
But I mean, is that like within a day? Could it be something where you're like visiting relatives in the afternoon and you're like, I don't remember where I was this morning and how I got here, like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
The longest time.
That must make you feel crazy.
Well, I am. So it.
Yeah.
It works.
Oh, I'm sorry. It must be a relief to know you are crazy.
Yeah.
It's not just you. It's not just you. You really are. You're fucking crazy.
And before now, the longest I knew of was a week. And what is also scary about that is not knowing because like when I was a lot younger and not medicated for any brain stuff, I would just have the typical like bipolar mania where, you know, you do impulsive, stupid things. And then there were never like full on blackouts, but you know, the
Right.
joke of like riding the trains all night like that.
Exactly. This is something that another one of my co-hosts has addressed. Robert Lowell, similar thing. Like Robert Lowell's annual Springtime Adventures title.
Yep.
I'd watch that show.
That book.
Robert
fucks me up.
Lowell's annual Springtime Adventures. Coming, 1974, ABC Saturday mornings. I hold a locked razor.
That's part of I need a cooler name than or a different name than the triangulation project, but that was another weird thing to see. Like I wouldn't remember. All right, well, hold on.
I think my triangulation project would be super useful for you.
It's
especially because you're a
drafts
user.
Doing.
Yeah.
So that.
But remember, Drafts has created. It's got modified. I don't think it exposes location, but I'm not sure.
It does.
Okay. Because the MCP Notion Eliminate has been a little bit dicey for me, but I was trying to test it. And I couldn't. I was like, show me drafts created east of the Mississippi, and I was not getting that to work.
Okay, I misunderstood. Like, yes, if you go into the individual draft, but I also haven't figured out
for triangulation to work, it would need to have that all exposed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you could say like areas outside of these two areas where are times that like. And there's a million ways you could do this. You don't have to be cute about it. You could just show me like places, show me all the places I've been with blah, blah, blah at this time. Okay, I found my lost weekend. Now, my lost weekend, at what times was I absolutely not tracking anything? When was I probably on a train? When was I, watching Doctor Who or whatever?
Mm-hmm. God, I wish there was a way to get the
live
data
streams.
Yeah. Well, I being a data hoarder has really worked out for me, honestly, already in the past month. I'm like, this has been extremely helpful.
But are you able to know when it's helping?
Yeah, because I've been able. I will see. Okay, this is a week that it seems like I didn't track a lot of stuff, and there's. I also didn't log that I took medication, and that's been
right. And that was, if I don't think I'm blowing up your spot, you've in the past had concerns that you do need an accountability buddy to remember sometimes to take a thing, and then once you slipped slightly off what that thing was addressing, you're in a state where you kind of don't want to take it, and you kind of like have a reason to forget. Isn't that kind of part of it?
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I'm blowing up your spot, am I? Because that explains a ton.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense.
What really sucks is that I think I'm not blowing up his spot. Roderick has said actually a lot of insightful things about being bipolar and the benefits of I'm gonna do the thing and talk about drugs, but like Lamictal, life changing drug for me, and with a lot of people have certain things that just help their brain, and it. I mean,
what's crazy is it's useful. It's useful
yourself.
it's on label for seizures, avoiding seizures, but it's off label for the craziest mix of shit. I took it to keep my personality sort of stable while I was on Adderall. But a lot of people, you're one of 3 people I know. Yeah, I think at least 3 people I know that have done podcasts with, let's put it this way, who has taken Lamictal like straight up in relationship to bipolar.
But with any sort of drug, Lamictal or otherwise, there's eventually weird side effects can happen. And
You think?
one of mine in
Well, there's one. There's one. It's the first thing I've ever taken that has what's called a black box warning on it. You need to be very careful with ramping up and ramping down on Lamictal. Otherwise, you get a rash and you go to the hospital, but you're already dead.
Oh God,
Don't look at photos of what that rash is. You really don't want it. It's worse than shingles. You don't want it.
Oh no, the rash. Okay, hey, but at least with the rash, right away,
Well, you also
I
know that with a shotgun wound to the temple.
But if you don't, I need to be. I don't want to be afraid of the rash.
I gotta go. Oh no. Deadly rash. Black box warning.
But if you know about the rash and you know to look for the rash, then you're gonna be like, okay, we're done.
You'll know you really should have followed that warning to actually ramp up like I told you.
Right. But
we'd stop shooting the protesters if they'd stop protesting about being shot. If you keep protesting about being shot, we're going to shoot you. But don't do protests about that or you'll be shot.
Well,
my poor brain just turns and turns and turns. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh well, I guess we have a different point of view, which is if you leave and stop shooting us, we won't have to protest anymore. Is how we would put it. Given it's just guys in Walmart jeans wearing stuff they bought at the mall.
That's this.
I hate that. Did you see the people in Congress yesterday? Did you see the testimony yesterday?
No, I didn't watch it. No.
That one woman. Oh my God, the woman with brain trauma and autism. Oh my God, her testimony was unbelievable.
Oh.
I mean, they all were. Renee Good's brothers, great. This one guy, the guy over on the right with the little mustache. Oh my God. What that guy went through. Anyways, hey everybody.
I'm going to put that in notes and watch it. There we go.
Honey Stinger, mini energy waffles, prepare, perform. I'm sorry, this is still in front of me. I don't know why I'm looking at this.
This is you do this now too, right? Where you have like a daily note in drafts.
Yeah.
And I've done that in a way less sophisticated way.
Oh, me too. That was the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I'm with the MCP integration and with I've actually had more luck just exporting all my drafts to .md files and saying, hey,
I just didn't want to keep interacting with SQLite databases through AppleScript. I was like, hey, I think there's a more official. I finally screenshot and sent it to Greg. I was like, there's a more official way to do this, right? And he's like, yeah, the MCP's coming. Don't worry. But I was like, yeah, this thing is like Quicksilver, where it'll get its dick into every single crevice of your Mac. So areas you didn't even know little fingers could get into. You'll be like, wait a minute. Wait, you're now you're removing speakers in Mac Whisper for me? Oh my God, that's incredible. You can go and see, I don't even know exactly how much of an API is even needed by an app. This thing just brute forces its way in.
Keeps fucking me up.
I'll also be like, because then, but the problem is that when it goes off in a bad direction, I'll be like, where I'll see something and I'll be like, I'm asking it a question about, Terminal, those dumb little Kindle things that show, information. I had some Terminal things I made that I wanted to show up, and it kept trying to do all this shit. First of all, on my Mac, and I'm like, wait, this should all be happening on my Synology. And it's like, oh, I need to do this and this and this. And then it was going to a different place. And I see it zipping through all this SSH stuff. And I'm like, okay, pump the brakes a minute. Let's make sure we understand where you're supposed to be before you do the most conceivably aggressive approach possible.
Well, when I start to see the red text, I'm like, oh, cool,
the
it's
red
fixing
text.
things. But then I'm like, wait, you're fixing. I don't know.
Also
What you're
means
fixing.
your
Escape,
API
escape,
400
escape.
error is coming soon. I don't like images. 400.
Escape.
Rap. I can't rap. I'm having a 400 error. Oh, so I lost this entire session? Hi, I'm a 400 error. What were you saying? Rap. I can't rap. Quit. I can't quit. I'm having a 400 error. So what you're saying is you've lost this entire session? You know, I have a friend that loses entire sessions.
Yeah.
Alex has had sessions crash, more sessions crash than you've had hot meals.
Oh. My Claude, I don't even know when a session is crashing.
My
That's the
Claude. Oh, my
problem.
Claude.
Oh God.
Oh, my Claude.
Oh God. I no, and I was just able to find so many. Luckily, there's very few
that the end?
meetings I ever had. Sorry.
Is that the end or are we still talking?
Oh, we're still we're still talking. The one
hey, everybody.
good thing. Hey everybody. I was able to find so many of my daily notes, just logging what I had done, just doing a list of like, here's what I did
sometimes you might
today.
find like an old Elements file folder, or you might go find like if you've done a lot with vaults in Obsidian, like I sometimes have a zip file that I named shitty, where I'll be like, oh, look at this, is a little treasure trove of a moment, captured in Amber.
Yeah, and it there's nothing like for time tracking for me has always been much more of a mindfulness practice, not like how when I was freelancing it was like how many billable
presence of
hours,
mind.
but
Yeah.
it's mostly like okay.
It's a way to test, am I doing what it is I assume I'm doing?
Right. And I never assumed that I mean I had the like productivity porn of like, hey, maybe this will be useful, and
I keep thinking of that one app. I'm kind of
turned
amazed. Do you not run that? What's that one app that everybody used to run? That watches all your
Rescue
shit. Yeah, Rescue Time. Did you ever?
I did,
but you
way
really
back
need
in
that
the
more. It's more on
day.
your phone that you need to track that stuff, right?
I mean, I don't.
Because Rescue Time would give you a lot of input into like at least the equivalent of rough log sessions for your past triangulate, at least.
Yeah.
In the same
would
way that the lack of drafts for a given weekend should probably tell you something.
But what told me more was when I would have this is it's harder to explain than most. Even if it was still sharp, it'd be hard to explain. But like
this is the kind of topic
with,
that I often describe as trying to pick up the tweezers with the tweezers.
Yeah.
You can't pick up
with-
tweezers with the same set of tweezers you're trying to use to pick up tweezers. And when we talk about theory of mind and how we imagine our mind works, I really do feel like we're trying to use one pair of tweezers to pick up the same pair of tweezers.
It's really good. Oh, I don't like thinking about that.
It's worse than Ouroboros if you think about it.
Oh,
Don't tread on me, they say.
that's not funny. Why am I laughing at that?
Oh, to break the tension, because you were going to talk about some real shit.
Well, yes, but the image of a snake eating its own tail is also just really fun. I'm like,
Ouroboros.
I'm like, why did you guys choose such a stupid?
That's a powerful metaphor. You don't think? You don't think a snake eating its tail is powerful? Because you think of it as its tail as its ass. You think it's eating its own ass.
No, I kind
should
of
be
think of
different.
it sucking its own dick, kind of.
I don't think snakes
because
have
I know
dicks,
it's
do they?
the
Do they have
ass.
snake dicks? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Who has
it's
dicks?
Kind of like, no, huh?
I think you've got them. There's in nature. I don't think trees have them. But like, does a frog? Because don't dolphins have dicks, and that's part of the problem?
Yeah, they're upsetting. Don't look up a dolphin dick.
I know
But,
horses. I know horses have dicks.
I now know what they look like thanks to The Crown. That was, you know how they have those little fucking trigger warnings in the top corner of I want horse cock. Whenever it's like horse language. No, I want to know if suddenly I'm going to see Olivia Colman looking at a giant horse.
I feel like I
dick.
should ask you before this happens. How are you going to feel when I clip out you exclaiming, "I want horse cock"? And will you feel good about that? Will that be okay? Could that be a ringtone? I want horse cock. I want horsecock. Billy used to call it the tags. When the show would come up and it would say smoking, it's like, it's all so fucking useless. Language, smoking. Oh, it has language in it. Oh, so tell me what kind of decisions I should make differently because it has, quote, language. I understand. Why don't you say it's got the F word, it's got the S word, it's got swearing about God. Like, those are useful to people who would like to avoid or know about those things. But just saying language is fucking useless. But you want horsecock. Alex says, I want horsecock.
We're done. We're done.
Put it in the tags.
We're done.
What would you do differently if you got horsecock?
Oh, God, if you could export everything you'd watched on Netflix, but also the metadata included the tags, and maybe you'd learn something about yourself.
That's a really good. Last night I started. Last night, because because of my system now, I can say things like, find things like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy or I, Claudius that lots of my friends' parents watched on PBS in the 70s, and make that a playlist. It'll do that. It'll just do that. Make a Plex playlist for me because I control everything now. Things like that. See, that's what we're talking about in some ways. We want to be able to make these things for our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And like be able to see. I want to see all. I want horsecock. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to wait. No horsecock, no peace.
Ding! 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 Ding!